we're back together. I cannot believe the speed with which time passes. You know, 1 minute it is here, the next minute it is gone, and a new minute is come. And by the end of the day, the minutes have just passed, and here we are again after just a short time of I don't know how long really, because my watch don't work at all. Can't tell by the sun. It's very cloudy now because we've got the rainy season coming upon us. So there will soon be water in the rivers and grass and the livestock, the animals. It'll be wonderful. Yeah, yeah. But you know, our last time I think I was telling you about Zephaniah, the chappie who was in the soldier in the army, huh? And we were talking about this morning. We were talking about leadership, and he said to me, you know, he said, "Silence." He said, "You are a good leader." Oh, I said, "Thank you very much. It's very kind of you." No, no, he said, "You're a good leader." I said, but you must have seen good leaders when you were in the army, eh? Well, he said, "There's very few and far between. It's not very good at all in the army. The leadership is very poor." He said, for example, we had a sergeant major. He was a very unpleasant man. He used to shout at us, you know, and I don't like people that shout at me. Quite a delicate soul, really. I said, "Me too. I understand that." And he said, "This man used to shout and he always complaining and run here and run there and run back and run off again and just run, and there was never any peace and quiet for me." Anyway, he said to me one day, he said, I expect that when you are leaving the army at some point in the future, you are going to wait for me to die, and you're going to come along and piss on my grave." And I stood to attention, and I looked straight past him, because you mustn't look at him, not allowed to look past him in there. And I said, "Oh, Sergeant Major, I'm not going to do that. Because when I leave the army, I am never going to stand in a queue again." Oh, it was a mistake, eh? He wasn't happy. He gave me big hugs. Anyway, I've got to tell you today, we had a bit of a problem, and we've had to go to the police station because Clueless Musikawa, one of the Mufalira Musikawas, he's been causing trouble with the local community, because he went to the village and he saw the village headman, and he said to the village headman, "Now you have a most beautiful daughter, and I would very much like to marry her if it is at all possible. You know, I could give you some cattle or a couple of camels, and we could marry her. That's okay with you?" And the headman said, "Well, you know, my daughter is very precious, very special to me. I have got some tests, and if you can pass all 3 tests, you can have my daughter's hand in marriage. No camels, no cattle, no, I give it to you, because you would be special." But he said, "I must tell you this." He said, "Many people, bigger than you and better than you, have tried, and no, they've failed. So I don't think there's much hope for you, but if you'd like to have a go, I can set the 3 tests." He says, "Okay." He said, "I want to have a go. I want to marry your daughter." Well, he said, "That's quite fine with me. I don't mind at all." He said, "Test number 1, you got to fight the giant. There's a giant lives in the valley. You got to fight the giant, and you have to win. You have to beat him. Okay? Knock him out unconscious. Then that's you won." He says, "Okay, what's the second test?" He said, "The second test," he said, "I'm going to give you a bar of lead, and you have got to turn it into gold. It's my bar, my lead, my gold." He says, "I can do that. That's not a problem." I said, the third thing, you've got to have sex with the sheep." "Sex with the sheep?" he said. "I've not had sex with a sheep before." Well, he said, "Those are the 3 tests. Do you choose them or not?" Well, he said, I choose the test. Yeah. He said, I'll do that." So he said, "Tomorrow morning I'll be here ready to go, huh? You get the bar of gold, you get the sheep. I'll be back out the valley before you know it." So that next morning, off he went, and he went into the valley, and there was much noise and screaming, yelling, crying, gnashing of teeth. It was terrible to behold, but the beholding was done. And about mid-morning, out the valley, comes Clueless, battered, bloodied, but the victor. So Clueless is out now. So he says, okay, he says, there, where's that lead? So he takes the lead and he runs around the back of the house and he does something and he comes back with a bar of gold. He said, there's a bar of gold for you. He said, right, bring on the sheep. Well, you've never seen a sheep smile like the way the sheep smiled when Clueless Musikawa was having sex with the sheep. But he had sex with the sheep successfully. It was all done. And the chief said to him, I would not believe this. I cannot believe I've seen what I've seen today. You have beaten the giant. You have turned the lead into gold and you've had sex with the sheep. You, sir, can have my daughter's hand in marriage. And Clueless looked at him and said, no, if it's okay with you, I'll just keep the sheep. So that's where we are. We're having to go and apologize. Anyway, good to see you. Have a good evening. I hope all is going well with you and yours and your land. And till we meet again, I feel a song coming on. I'm not going to sing. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again sometime soon. Goodbye and Hamagashli.